Hello, how is everyone today? All I know about Gideon the Ninth is that I think there's people with skull face paint. That is all I know. Well, of course they're gay. You promise you'll be normal this time? Oh, you mean we're not gonna have a stream where everyone just doxes themselves and then realizes afterwards, wait, I probably shouldn't have done that. Also, don't say you're gonna be normal this time. We both know that's not true. I don't think it's possible for you guys to be normal. Exactly. What even is normal? I like Beatles, though. Come closer, we're a totally normal. Oh yeah, normal type. Come closer, we're a totally normal Discord server. I bet they're wild. The ones where you guys can just talk about stuff without me being able to see it. When I get caught up, I should go back and read the years of insane garbage. I can't. There's too much stuff. I can't go back and read everything. Y'all need to make a highlights reel for me so I can see the top nonsense whenever I get caught up. Oh, I bet there has been, but I can't go back and read years of nonsense. I have things to do. But yeah, today we're gonna have a perfectly normal stream. Nobody's gonna dox themselves. Everything's gonna be completely ordinary, definitely. Hopefully. I will censor stuff out of the video, so help me. Today's episode's called Known by Its Song, which again lends me to think that this is going to be the episode where we finally get the Raven and Yang talk. I think Raven is going to say things that are true, but I don't think they're definitely going to be biased. Oh, hi, kitty. Grumpy lady. Like, I think Raven is going to tell Yang the truth about, like, the maidens and nonsense, but it's definitely going to be biased because she is so clearly bitter about the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. True from a certain point of view. Thank you, Obi-Wan. Yo, I would be on board if the series took a hard swerve into being musical theater. I would be on board with a musical number every episode. It would be completely out of left field, but I'd be on board. Can any of the cast members sing? Who's Aaron? So Blake and John can sing, and the rest of them will just stand awkwardly in the background. No, I know we have songs in the show already, but I meant, like, the characters. Well, it doesn't matter if Pyrrha can sing. Oh wait, I already knew that Pyrrha and John could sing. You sent me that You Are My Sunshine thing. Yeah, Weiss is cheating. Weiss's VA doesn't need to sing. But yeah, I'd be on board with having the actual voice actors sing as their characters. That would be interesting. Also, Casey is Weiss's singing voice because Casey's voice is freaking angelic. And Weiss is a professional singer. Oh yes, thank you. Obligatory Homestuck folder mention. Thank you. Gotta get that out of the way every time. Where's Michael? Yeah, the Homestuck folder. We've all seen it. I don't even know what's in the Homestuck folder these days. I haven't used it in a while. I can open it. Yeah, what's in the Homestuck folder these days? Okay, that's what's in the Homestuck folder. But you guys can't see that, can you? There's a link to the first page, a link to the last page, a link to I Told You About Stairs, a link to the last page I read, and then where my friend left off and where my other friend left off. So that's where the links are in the folder. No, we're not racing. It's more like I'm forcing them to read the thing, and they don't remember where they leave off, so I keep it categorized for them. Yeah, I'm their pilot. You really should. It's a good comic. I mean, it's complete and utter nonsense, but it's good. Hi, Link. I mean, Act 6 is the longest act in the comic, so I can't blame you for not getting further than that. Yeah, it is. It's longer than all the other acts in the comic. Yeah, I started after Cascade. I don't know how long after, but it's pretty nonsense. Let me tell you about Homestuck. We don't have time for me to tell you about Homestuck. That's for another stream. We don't have time to explain Homestuck. We have to start the episode. Kaya, you're just making me think of the song You Can't Fight the Homestuck. God, it was that song's a bop. I mean, I know it's a bop because it's based on Billy Joel, but it's a good song, man. But yeah, then let's get started. Let me turn down the volume so it doesn't pick up in the audio. That's probably too low. There we go, that's good. And let's go. I love this shot of Ruby standing on a tree stump, because I don't think she's been in the woods this entire volume. That's her brooding stump. People are like, where's Ruby? Well, she's out in the woods again, standing. She's out there standing on a stump. It's made of cotton candy. Oh, true. I mean, it doesn't matter if my mouse is there. My video isn't recording because we've established that my laptop will melt if it tries. Okay, we're in a bar. Oh, hey, Crow.
Regular or the special?
I'm actually looking for someone. Goes by the name Shiro Wan. Ever heard of him? I heard he's a regular around here.
Who's asking?
Hey, I'm not some cop, if that's what you mean. I need Shiro for a gig. We go way back.
Way back, huh?
Oh, he's recruiting
he's a
huntsmen
friend
to
of
help.
yours.
Since he
Yeah,
can't
I'd
get
say
any
so.
officially
He's a
from
pretty all right guy.
the council.
Well, in that case, you tell that jerk that he better not show his ugly face in here until he pays me the lien he owes me.
Did I say friend? I meant acquaintance. Really, we're just colleagues.
Also, I wanted to point out, that is the
Anyways,
least
thanks for your
effective
time,
whittling I've
buddy.
ever seen.
I'll just be taking off now. Great start.
Bro, he's already out of the building. You don't need to knife him. I love that this is clearly the same street corner. They're just putting... They just put a different prop there. Man, he's having no luck finding all these people.
Heather Shields.
Man. This place is really run down. I know it was established that the class
hey there.
divide is pretty
I'm
strong
looking for Heather.
here, but still.
Look, pal, I've had a rough day. Do you know where she is or not?
Daddy? Does he know where Mommy is?
Oh, you haven't had as much of a rough day as this family has, Crow.
I'm sorry to bother you.
So all of Crow's contacts are missing. Which, yeah, it would make sense that some of them would be, but why are they all missing? It's statistically improbable for them all to be missing. Okay. Okay. So all of his improbably statistical. No, it's not improbably statistical. That doesn't make any sense. So all of Crow's contacts are missing, presumably, since he got to the bottom of the list without finding anyone, which is incredibly suspicious. It doesn't seem possible without outside influence that every huntsman on his list would not be in the city. With how many there were on his list, it just seems unlikely. Sure, they might all not be in the city, but it seems unlikely that everyone would have no idea where they are. And they made a point of pointing out that they are not all on the same type of mission. So it's not that, like, there's just a particularly bad Grimm population around and they're all getting killed by Grimm. No, there's something deliberately going out of their way to get rid of them. And gonna have to say, Lionheart, he's the guy in charge of the Huntsman Academy. He would know all of these people, and he's in Salem's pocket. And if he knows that Salem's next target is here, then he would have a vested interest in making sure that it's easier for her to get here, which he would be able to do by removing obstacles such as the huntsmen that normally live here, especially ones that are friends with Crow, who would also have a vested interest in trying to... Crow is a shady guy, objectively, but he is also a very good person. The people that he would be friends with would want to protect people, even if they don't do it in the most legit ways or whatever. So Lionheart would have a vested interest in trying to get rid of those people. Oh, we have a new emoji? Oh, it's the hug. Oh, that's really cute. It's a really cute emoji. Look at them. God, Yang's so much taller than Weiss. So I don't think Lionheart is killing them himself. He has enough stuff going on that it would be suspicious if he was gone from the academy for like months to kill all of these huntsmen. So he's probably just like informing Salem or Watts where they are, and they are like tasking out assassins or just straight up Tyrion. Because we know that assassins exist in this world, because Mercury's dad was one, and I doubt he's the only one. So he's probably just tasking out the kill orders for all these huntsmen, specifically when they're out of the city, so that it doesn't seem suspicious when there's just a ton of murders in the city. Yeah, exactly. It is that scene from Incredibles. It is that scene from Incredibles when he's seeing all the supers that are dead. So yeah, that's my theory. Sorry, anyone viewing this who hasn't seen The Incredibles yet. If you haven't seen The Incredibles by now, like, what are you doing with your life? That movie is flawless. Why are you... If you haven't seen Incredibles yet, stop watching this stream and go watch The Incredibles, honestly. So that's my theory for now, is that Lionheart has been slowly picking off all of the huntsmen that live in the city to make the path to the relic more open, so that it's easier for them to get in because there's less huntsmen around. And also, it gives Lionheart a good excuse for why he can't get huntsmen to help Crow, because there are just less huntsmen. And the council would be able to confirm that there are less huntsmen, because there just are. If most of the population of huntsmen in the area is dead, then there are just less huntsmen. Man, I wouldn't want to be Crow coming back to Ruby and the gang and saying that he failed. He likes to pretend that he doesn't feel responsible for them, but he does. He feels responsible for those kids. I wouldn't be shocked if the Grimm were getting worse, especially since there's less huntsmen to take care of them, but also because Salem has been getting more bold lately. I didn't see the sign. What sign? Yeah, the Grimm are getting worse and stronger because Salem is getting more bold, and also people have more negative emotions since one of the Huntsman academies was attacked. Well, I'm gonna continue because I think I've gotten my whole talk out, so I'm gonna continue now. Oh, he's back. Oh, I love his little ramen carvings.
Up back here, unless you brought that idiot with you.
How much did Shiro owe you?
Well, I'd say about 16,000 lien.
That's a lot of money, presumably.
Wait, what? Man, you must be in some serious trouble with him if you're paying me off.
His name is clear.
Oh, Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, and then barkeeper guy realizes something must be wrong.
That idiot.
Yeah. You just, this is the sign you guys were talking about, wasn't it? This freaking no faunus sign. I mean, they did say that Mistral is pretty overtly racist. I can't say I'm surprised that this sign exists. I'm not happy about it. Well, I'm also thinking, like, 16,000 lien, I was also thinking that since Mistral especially is so based on Asian cultures, yeah, that it's more like yen, so 16,000 it's not convertible directly to dollars. It sounds like a lot more money, but it's not, because their currency is set up differently. But yeah, the no faunus sign, which is, if it's yen, then it's just over $100, which is a lot of money, but it's not $16,000. Every time that they've paid for something with lien, it hasn't been made clear how much lien any bill is, you know? Like, they've always just given the bills without it being made clear at all how much any of it is equal to. That's something that I would love to find out about, but will probably never be brought up in the show. I want to know how the currency works in this world, because I love money systems like that, like in Dungeons & Dragons with, like, the gold and the silver and the platinum. I want to know how the money works in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time!
You can wait outside. Thank you.
They're about to have the most awkward conversation ever, and Weiss
So,
is going to also
what's
be in the room.
truth? You know, it's better when it's hot.
You know, you're really obnoxious.
The
I love you,
truth
Weiss.
is that truth is hard to come by. A story of victory for one person is a story of defeat for someone else. By now, your uncle has surely told Ruby and her friends plenty of stories.
Well, he's never given me a reason to doubt him before.
Unlike you.
That doesn't mean those reasons don't exist.
There's reasons to doubt anyone.
You and your teammates might as well be the poster children for the Huntsman Academies. Your motives vary, but you all enrolled to try and make the world a better place. It's adorable.
It's what huntsmen and huntresses do.
Not all of them. Some people are just in it for the money and the fame, but there's even more that are just looking to grow stronger. Your Uncle Crow and I didn't attend Beacon to become huntsmen. We did it to learn how to kill huntsmen.
They joined the Huntsman Academy to learn how to kill huntsmen? I mean, yeah, that does make sense, I guess. They were bandits and would have only stopped being bandits after making actual friends at Beacon, like in the rest of their team. And I guess anyone else who was going there at the time, but we don't know about any of them. But it would make sense that the people who would be best suited to, the humans who would be best suited to killing huntsmen would be other huntsmen, because they would have similar skills and similar training. They would have semblances and their aura unlocked. It makes sense that huntsmen would be good at killing other huntsmen. But why Raven and Crow out of anyone in the tribe? Were they just the right age, or was it something else?
Daddy and Uncle left that part out, Aside from the Grimm, huntsmen were the only ones capable of ruining our raids and hunting us down. Our tribe needed a counterforce. And Crow and I were the perfect age. The entrance exams were child's play compared to what we'd already been through.
So they were the right age, and they were already
good.
trained, sort
so
of.
Good that we caught the attention of Beacon's very own headmaster, Professor Osborne. Even after we were put on a team, I could tell he was keeping his eye on us. Back then, I thought it was because he knew. But it was Team Stark he was interested in.
He might have also known, but that wouldn't have mattered to him.
Extra training missions, turning a blind eye whenever we happened to break the rules and get into more trouble than we should have. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it's been
What's your
clear
point?
for a while that Team
How
Stark
much
was
do you
the
know
original
about
Team
Professor
Ruby.
Osborne? About his
They've got-
past.
It's been clear for a while that Team Stark was the original Team Ruby. They've even got the characters that parallel each other. I was going to say something that I forgot. I completely forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to have a drink of water and then maybe I'll remember. Yeah, they're not like Jean, who had fake transcripts. They're closer to Blake or Ren and Nora, who didn't have any formal training but just lived in the wild and were good at fighting. Yeah, but I don't know if Ozpin might have had an eye on them because there's not much that happens in that school that he doesn't know about. Helps that he's got, like... Actually, who would have been his spies at that point? Because it wouldn't have been Crow and Raven, because they were, like, 17 at the time. I doubt we'll ever find that out, but that's something interesting to think about. There's not much that goes on in that school that he doesn't know about. It's probable that he knew that they were bandits. He knew that Blake was a part of the White Fang, although Blake was much less subtle about it than these two probably were. But this is unrelated to anything I was talking about, but I love Yang and Weiss just giving her the exact same "I don't trust you" look. They're both like, you're incredibly fucking sus. Look at their faces. Because, yeah, it was going to end up that he was going to recruit Team Stark no matter who was on it, because Summer was on it. And we all know that he needs silver-eyed warriors, and he'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they get the training they need. He bumped Ruby up 2 years because he was worried that that Salem would see that she had silver eyes, and so got her into Beacon early. But yeah, whatever team Summer was on, Ozpin was going to have an eye on, regardless of who else was in the team. Honestly, Raven, if you had been on anyone else's team, he would not have given a fuck about you. He wouldn't have cared at all, and you would have just been able to go back to the tribe and kill Huntsman. He wouldn't have cared. You would not have gotten involved with the plot at all. That is a funny team to think about. You have the legendary silver-eyed warrior, 2 bandits who came to the school to learn how to kill Huntsman, and Tai Yang, the most normal character. He's just some guy, and we love that about him. Yeah, exactly. Team Ruby has it less so because Yang does have the whole abandoned by my bandit queen mother thing going on. The farm girl thing works less when you remember that her mom is the queen of the biggest bandit tribe in the country. In the world. It works. It's less regular farm girl when you remember that. But yeah, let's continue because what I wanted to say is not coming back to me. It's a different country, but that's because there aren't bandits in the country she lives in.
He was a prodigy, one of the youngest headmasters to be appointed to a school.
Because that's how he planned it. Because the man you know as Ozpin designed those schools, and has followers inside every academy on Remnant that are loyal to him and no one else.
That doesn't make any sense. How could he have... No. Why would someone even do that?
Because Old Man Oz has a great and terrible secret. One that
because
can
he's
spread
functionally
fear across
immortal.
The world. One that he eventually entrusted to our team. And once I knew, there was no going back. I needed to know more. But with every new discovery I made, the more horrifying the world became.
Okay, then tell us.
You freaking drama queen,
What's the
Raven.
big
Just
secret?
tell them if
What's
you're going to
so
tell them.
crazy that the rest of us don't know?
The creatures of Grimm have a master named Salem. She can't be stopped, she can't be reasoned with, and she will not rest until humanity crumbles at her feet.
What?
She's
You
only
know, you
sort
two
of
haven't
right
even
about
touched her
that, because
tea.
I'm still convinced that's not what Salem wants.
Why should we believe any of this?
Now you're catching on. So far, you've done nothing but accept what others tell you. But you need to question everything. Otherwise, you'll end up just as blind as Crow. And your fool of a father.
Don't you dare talk about my family like that!
Oh, Weiss flinching.
You need to calm down.
Yang, please.
Listen to your friend, Yang. Your teammates never let you down before.
You don't know the first thing about my teammates! About me! You were never there! You left us! Why?
I know more than you realize. Not just about you, and not just what I've been told, but things I've seen with my own eyes. I know the Grimm have a leader. I know people who can come back from the dead. I know that magic is real. And I can prove it.
But I'm not going to tell you any of it, because I'm the least trustworthy character in this entire
You said
show.
Ty told you all about my semblance.
You have to prove yourself for me to tell you the truth. Even though I promised I would tell you the truth.
What Oz did to my brother and me.
Yeah, Raven, queen of avoiding the question.
Go see for yourself.
She just said Osmond did something to me and my brother. This is going to be her
Mom?
and him being able to turn into birds, isn't it? Because I don't know if anyone knows that they can do that
Yang,
yet.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine once we could get her to take us to RWBY.
It's okay if you're not okay.
You didn't believe what she said, right?
Of course not. Well, not all of it. It was crazy. We have dust, semblances, but I mean, there's no such thing as magic.
My god, you guys are out of the loop. There's no such thing as magic. You poor innocent souls.
A raven?
I've seen that bird before.
Yeah, I bet you have, Yang.
Maybe it belongs to your mom?
In a way, it belongs to your mom. The way she's glaring at it, I really thought she was about to punch the bird right out of the air. And we still don't get to see the transformation because that would be complicated animation.
did
But
you
I
do
want
that?
to see it.
Well, I could explain it to you. Or you could ask your uncle.
And away she goes.
You're letting us go?
I'm giving you a choice. Stay here with me, and I'll answer all of your questions and more. We can have a fresh start. Or you can go back to Crow and join Ozpin's impossible war against Salem.
But you see, she doesn't care about
the
that.
same
She
thing
just
as
wants to
so
go
many
find
others.
Ruby. She couldn't give a fuck about what
Can
Osmond
you
is
really
doing.
go back to trusting someone that's kept so much from you?
Go back to trusting someone who's kept so much from you, like you, Raven? Like you, the least trustworthy character in this show? We can have a fresh start. Yeah, Raven, you have to make significant more steps before that. You haven't done jack shit. Oh, Weiss. Baby girl. Exactly. How could I ruin your life? Raven out here being like, you're not the girl I raised. And Yang's like, you didn't raise me at all. Exactly. If you go through this portal that I made and can make on a whim, we'll never see each other again, and that's your fault. Like, Raven, you could make a portal to her at any moment. You could have done that since the day she was born, and you chose not to because you are a coward. You're scared of being close to people, so you put up all these walls and make them have to prove themselves so that it is clear to you that they actually want to be with you, because you are a coward. But also, Raven, you are also such a coward because either you are the Spring Maiden or Vernal is, but regardless, you have grabbed them and hidden them in the woods and pretended to be like, look, I'm not part of Ozpin's war. I'm not involved. Bitch, you have the Spring Maiden. You can't be not involved. The relic is still in the vault. They'll need to come talk to you at some point. You can't be not involved while you also have the Spring Maiden. Yeah, I'm reading it as Weiss being more worried for Yang. She doesn't think Yang will agree. She's worried about how this will affect Yang, because she knows Weiss is the queen of having terrible parents. Also, Raven, do you really think she's gonna stay? All she's been asking you this entire time is to open a portal back to RWBY, and you open one and are like, if you stay, I can answer all your questions. Otherwise, go join Ozpin in his impossible war. And Yang's over here like, look, I don't give a fuck about Ozpin. Will that take me to RWBY? Yes, that's all you had to say. Bye. Like, she does not care. She does not care about what Raven has to say or about Ozpin's secret war. She is not interested in the plot right now. She just wants to be there for RWBY.
All I care about is making sure my sister is safe.
Exactly! That's what I've been saying! Did you really think she was going to agree?
Yang. If you side with your uncle, I may not be as kind the next time we meet.
You weren't kind this time!
You aren't kind this time either.
Exactly! That's what I'm saying, Yang!
I know.
Oh, at
This
least
isn't
she is...
I get
She's
one or
not
two
blind
of them,
enough to
but
not admit that.
all
She
of them?
knows she wasn't good this time. See, and that's what's interesting to me. It's that Raven is she's self-aware enough to be like, no, I know I'm doing terribly in this situation. I know I am not interacting with the daughter I abandoned in the way that I should be interacting with her. But she doesn't know any other way to interact with people. She doesn't know any way to interact with people without putting up several barriers in between her actual feelings and talking to them truthfully. Because she's in this bandit tribe where it's like, if you aren't strong, you're weak and you deserve to be killed. So she can't afford to show any weakness to anyone, even her own daughter. Even though that's what her daughter needs from her to be able to actually have a good relationship with them. I'm perfectly aware this isn't working for me. In light of that, I'm not going to change my behavior at all. God, Raven, God, you need therapy. Jesus Christ. Like, everyone does, but God, someone take this woman and make her talk about her feelings. I know it's if you've lived your whole life away, it's hard to change that, but Crow's got his own issues, but he's at least trying. He's at least trying to be there for the people he cares about, even though him being there is actively putting them in danger because of his semblance. Instead of Raven, who could be with the people she cares about at any time and is instead like, no, I have to put up barriers and be strong because caring about people is weakness, even though her semblance allows her to teleport to them at any time. She really was like, okay, I'll let you go back to your sister, but if you do, I won't be nice to you again. Girl, you weren't nice this time. She didn't fall for your planned out speech, so you were like, fine, men, attack her. Girl, what? She's your daughter. And then you were like, I know what'll get her on my side. Promising her answers and then being incredibly cagey and trying to fearmonger her into staying with me. Ugh. How you doing, Crow? You having a time?
Raven.
Oh, and he was ready to fight. You see that?
Oh.
Oh, and the way his gaze immediately softens when he sees it's Yang. He cares about those girls so much.
All right, the first batch is just about done.
Awesome! Now we just need Crow and we'll be all set. Do you really think he's going to bring that many people?
No, he's out on the deck right now trying to figure out how to tell you that he couldn't find anyone.
I don't know, but it sounds like we can use all the help we can get.
I'm back.
Be right there!
You're going to overcook that.
No, I'm not. Shut up!
Hey, Ruby.
Oh,
I'm coming! Fine, you take over.
I love their
We
friendship.
didn't know how many people were coming, so we just cooked all of
Ruby,
it.
look, it's your sister. Oh, Ruby.
Yang, I'm so sorry. I should have stayed, and I should have talked to you more. I wasn't sure if you wanted
Oh,
me
sweetie,
around.
it's not your fault. She doesn't blame you for any of that.
I love you.
The sisters of all time.
I love
The
you
sisters
too.
of all time. And she said I love you because it was the last thing Ruby said to her. Oh, and the space for Pyrrha. I saw it that time, now that you told me to keep an eye out for it. And hi, I'm Oscar. You don't know me. I'm new. Weiss.
Weiss.
And the way she got all sad because she doesn't get to have a hug, and then they immediately invite her in because she's part of their family too. Most of Team RWBY is reunited. Blake's gonna take a minute. Crow for scale. Blake's gonna take a minute. Oh, that was really sweet. That was really sweet. Blake has to take a while overseas shipping. She's in the past also. Her timeline is messed up at the moment. We have Team RE, which makes Dio proud. You spelled Dio wrong. You need to capitalize those other letters. I mean, the conversation with Raven was a lot. I already talked about it at length, so I'm not gonna hash it out again. Saffron, you have a lot to talk about with Raven. Don't be spoilery. I'm sure there's stuff happening with she's gonna be a major player in this season, so I'm sure she's gonna do stuff later. So don't say anything suspect, but I'm ready. What's nuts and bolts again? Oh yeah. Well, they're just cute. They're just cuties. I can't blame you. That conversation had layers, and I was entirely here for it. Like an onion, like a parfait. Just waiting for the rant to appear. Oh, Raven's not gonna make me cry. She's gonna make me pissed. I am angry at Raven. Oh, they couldn't make other sets, so they just put new... Yeah, that makes sense. You did mention that a lot of the money got embezzled. Oh, I was able to pick stuff... I saw a lot of the important Raven things. Saf, if you want to workshop a whole rant and send it in RWBY discussion later and tag me, then you can do that. You don't need to be put on the spot right here. I can read it later if you don't want to be put on the spot. Let's give Saffron time to stall. What are the ships for today? Let's give Saffron time to collect their thoughts. I'm gonna vamp for a little while to give Saffron time. What are the ships? Phoenix. Well, it's Bird. So it's probably one of the bird people, probably. So it's probably either Crow or Raven, because they are the bird-coded ones. But Fire, I'm assuming we're not doing, like, suspect ones, where it's, like, it's Arizona. Duh, it's Phoenix Wright. You fools. Ace Attorney. Phoenix, I'm assuming we're not doing suspect ones, where they're, like... Because when I thought of Fire... I always think of Cinder first, but I also remember that last time I could only think of Cinder, it was actually Yang. But I'm assuming it's not Yang because, she's related to both of those people, and that would be hella weird. So I'm assuming it's not Yang. So I guess I'm going to say one of them is Cinder. Then is it Crow or Raven? I guess I'm going to say Raven because she has a bigger role in this episode. But that's who I'm guessing it is. Oh, it's not them? Oh, we've already had that one? Damn. Okay, we've already had that one. I still think it's probably Raven. But who else would it be? If it's like Fire or Rebirth themed? I mean, I guess it could be Ozpin, but he's not very Fire themed. Because he's Rebirth themed, but he's not very Fire themed. I don't know. I'm certain that the bird half of it is Raven, but I don't know who the other half is. So who is it? Who's Phoenix? Ty and Raven. Yeah, I guess he would also be Fire themed since he's also the dragon, technically. Yeah, that one's canon. They have had sex. The first one of these that are actually canon. Well, yeah, because the other ones that are canon, I already knew the names of. He's the normal-sized sun dragon. That's not what it translates to. It would be funny if it was. if it translated to normal size. Yeah. Big sun dragon. Oh, ship game. Do I have to name what ship this is? What's this ship? I'm trying to think of a name of a ship. Is it the Titanic? I'm pretty sure it's the Titanic because I was counting the steam pipes. It's Arcos. I was counting the steam pipes because I remember that the Titanic has 4 because only 3 of them actually work. One of them is false because they thought it would look cooler to have 4. So they put a 4th one on that doesn't do anything when they really should have been, putting more lifeboats on. But yeah, that's the first canon ship from the ship games because the other ones I already knew the names of. Because the other canon ones, the ones that I would consider canon, that have evidence supporting that they are both interested in each other, are obviously Bumblebee, which is Yang and Blake, Arcos, which is Jean and Pyrrha. What was it called? Renora, which is obviously Ren and Nora. And then the other canon ones that I would consider canon are obviously Summer and Ty and Raven and Ty. I don't know what Summer and Ty is called, but I've just learned that Raven and Ty are called Phoenix. What are other canon relationships in this show? Oh yeah, Gira and Callie, obviously. They're very happily married. We love them. Just because they're married, I don't want to say that Jacques and... I don't actually know Weiss's mom's name. That just occurred to me. I don't know her name. They're technically married, but I wouldn't consider them a ship because they are in the most unhealthy relationship ever. Who else? Those are the only ones I can think of. There's probably others of like background characters or whatever. There's one that I do have to add that was canon but isn't now. And it is Blake and Adam. Unfortunately, they were canon. They were dating and did both love each other. They don't now, but they did. So unfortunately, that one was canon. I don't think there's any others that I can think of. We're gonna have to talk about Adam. He's gonna do stuff in the next few seasons. We have to talk about him at some point. I hate the guy as much as the rest of you, but we have to talk about him. And also, this better not be a song reference. I can't think of any other relationships. I think those are... No, I know what it's from. I can't think of any other relationships. I know. I loved his tantrum and the two brothers. I said Ty and Summer. I said them when I said Ty and Raven. I said them earlier. Oh, I'll get a rant later? Okay, cool. I'll get a rant later. Write it down in a document or something. Write your thoughts down in, like, bullet points, and we can come back to them at a later date. I liked the moment from this episode. I liked the moment of Crow, like, standing out on the balcony, not wanting to come into the building because he doesn't want to disappoint the kids that he wasn't able to find help. That's a nice touch. Weiss sitting on the motorbike and being so small is very cute. There's stuff happening. Yeah, Raven is going to continue doing stuff. Because like I said, she can't stay out of the plot. She has the Spring Maiden. And if they're going to go and attack Haven Academy and get the relic, they're going to need the Spring Maiden. She's necessary. Yeah, RWBY immediately apologizing for leaving Yang is very, sweetie, it's not your fault. I know you have it in your head that you have to be perfect all the time, but Yang was never going to be mad at you for this. And it would be nice if people would tell her more often that she doesn't need to be perfect all the time, because the more they don't say it, the more she is reinforcing it in her own head, which is... not okay. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I enjoyed this episode. It was good. I loved the Raven talk was very good. I enjoyed ranting about her. She's a very complicated character. I hope you have fun editing it. Also, since I like that this was known by its song and it was about both of the bird twins. That was a nice touch that both of the birds got to do stuff. Well, we won't have long conversations afterwards. Man, my Jersey accent really came out there. But mostly because I've ranted so much during the episode itself, so I don't need to go over stuff again. When I watch reaction videos, I always hate it when people do that. When they rant a lot during the episode, and then they have the whole conversation again at the end. It's like, no, it's not necessary. You don't have to have the conversation twice. You already covered it. If they want to hear what you said, they can skip back to where it was in the middle of the episode and listen to it again. It's not necessary to repeat everything you said again at the end. You can do bullet points where it was like, where it's like, yeah, I enjoyed the Raven conversation. I love how it sheds light on how complicated her character is, but you don't need to have the whole rant again at the end. It's not necessary. It's just for padding out a video, and that's stupid. I hope that I talk about the episode enough, because sometimes I worry that I am not talking about things that you guys want me to talk about. We have other things to pad out the video, like Homestuck. How are the doggos? Well, they're not my doggos, first of all. They're Pilot's doggos, and I assume they're doing well. The puppy went to puppy class today. She's learning how to, I don't know what she did in puppy class today. I hope she gets to wear a graduation cap because she would look very cute. She got a good grade in dog, which is normal to want and possible to achieve. You know a bird by its song and a man by his words. Which is very appropriate for each of the twins because you can tell what their intentions are based on what they do. Raven did nothing but try to prove to Yang that everyone she cares about is a liar. And all that Crow did the entire episode was walk through the entire city in the rain to try to find people who would help his nieces save the world. Like, he did nothing but try to help them the entire episode, and she did nothing but try to make Yang distrust everyone she cares about. Okay, it's good to hear that I'm doing okay. Because I do worry about that sometimes. Because I know I can get off on tangents. You think they're fans of Bird is the word? I hope so. God, I hope so. I'm doing amazing, sweetie. That song is why they became criminals. They played that song, they wrote that song, and everyone was like, arrest them. Those are the twins, get them. I'm glad you like my tangents. They're not going to stop because I don't have control over my own mouth, and I will just keep talking about things. So it's a good thing you like them because they're here to stay. Because that's just how I speak. Sine and cosine are allowed, but are cooler, but tangent is allowed. Hey, it's a good classic math joke. We love a math joke. It's not ironic. We do love a math joke. I talk out loud to myself when I watch shows, even when there's no one else here. I can pause the episode and comment on things. Because I annoy other people who watch things with me, because they're like, I want to watch the show. Stop talking over the dialogue. This is why I watch it with subtitles, so I can watch it and speak at the same time. Math jokes are derivative. Ha 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 ha. That statement wouldn't add up. Ha ha. I think the last 5 minutes of this should just be math jokes. Exactly. The thing to do is have them already watch it so they can go feral with me. Some of them are good, but others are divisive. Kaya, you better keep all of these math jokes in. They're important to the reaction. The reaction isn't the same without these math jokes. Salute you. I think I'm gonna head out. Thank you everyone for joining me and for supporting on the Patreon and watching the videos. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the videos, even though I don't have very much to do with them. They're mostly Kaya's work. And we love her. She does great work. But yeah, hopefully I'll be back next Saturday with the next episode. I guess we're gonna have conversations with the reunion. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, thanks everyone. See ya.